What is going on YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me for JoJo Speaks, a Powerbook 2 Ghost review of Season 4, Episode 8. We only have 2 episodes left after this episode, and to be honest, the way that things are shaking up, I have a feeling that there are going to be a couple of loose ends left open. I'm thinking that everything's not going to be tied up in a nice pretty bow, because with 2 episodes left and so many things that need to happen, Tate needs to find out that Agent Carter is the one that killed his brother. Um, Agent Carter got to go. I'm assuming that Monet's going to go as well, as I stated in my previous review. I don't know if Tariq is going to end up back with Tasha and Yaz. There's so many possibilities going on right now. I'm hoping that we'll be happy at least with the season finale, or with the series finale rather. But we'll see. Anyway, so Tariq and Monet, they're trying to figure out how it is that they're going to navigate this whole issue with Carter and giving up Norma. So they decide that they're going to actually approach Norma and tell her that there is an Agent Carter out here who's got information on you, and if you want to make sure that you ain't gonna get found out, you gotta make sure you make it work with us. And so Norma is wants to know what exactly information that they have on her, because they want Norma to take Carter out, so that Carter won't be on their back anymore. So Norma wants to know what information does he have on me, and they don't want to give up that information. And so then eventually, Norma, after she denies their plan for her to take out Angel Carter, she reveals to Tariq and Monet that she's getting married to Kane. And so this is an issue that Monet is not too happy with. Then Method Man comes in the room, as well as Effie comes in the room, and they find out that Kane and Norma are supposed to be getting married. Of course, Effie feels some type of way about it because she has feelings for Kane. Method Man feels some type of way about it because he's just gotten done freaking off Norma, and so it's a very interesting dynamic between these four people. Anyways, Kane has given her a huge rock. That ring looks heavy as I don't know what, but it is what it is. Anyway, so Drew and Agent Carter are working side by side, which I do like this for Drew, because this makes Drew feel as though he's got some power, he's got some responsibility, and so he doesn't want to be a bottom rung type of nigga. You know what I'm saying? And I love that for Drew. And so Drew is given Zion's business going on in that Fight Club back alley type situation. And so since Carter was, kind of over Zion's business, or has something to do with Zion's business, he's going to give it to Drew. And so Drew meets up with the with his crew or whatever, and they seem to get along pretty well. We don't see too much interaction between them, but at least I'm happy for Drew. And so then Kane comes to visit Drew at his place, and Kane wants to make sure that Drew is not giving up the family. Kane wants to make sure that Drew is not spilling the tea on the family business. And Drew is like, "Nigga, I got this. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this." And he tells Kane, good luck with that marriage going on with your girl Norma. You know what I'm saying? And Kane is caught by surprise by this information that Drew knows. And so Kane walks back up to Drew, and Drew's like, "You're a step above a pool boy." You know what I'm saying? She's just using you until she don't need you no more. And this pisses Kane off. And so Kane and Norma actually end up buying out that building that they're having all those fights in, where they run Drew's business out of. And so this is very very interesting to me, but Kane is real petty, real petty. So that's what's going on there. Braden's girlfriend, she ODs on some white stuff that was laced with fentanyl, unfortunately. And so he gets her to the hospital, and she's going to be okay. She's still recovering or whatever. And so while she's in the hospital, Braden actually gets up with the dealer who actually sold her the fentanyl-based drugs. And so Braden sets up a meet and greet so that he can meet up with this dealer. So I guess he can. He said he wants to scare the dealer off or whatever, and so he calls Tariq and tells him to meet him up so that he can meet up with this dealer or whatever. So they get to the dealer's house, and Braden confronts the dealer, asking him, was your drugs laced with fentanyl? And so he opens the curtain or whatever, and so the drugs are there on the table. And Brayton tells him to take a hit. And then he tells him take another hit, and then he tells him take another hit, and then he tells him take a fourth hit. And Tariq is starting to panic, like what's going on? My jaw, Brayton is high at this time, and so Tariq is like, what are you doing? You don't want to kill him or whatever. And then the next thing you know, Brayton kicks the drug dealer, and then Brayton takes his gun and he shoots and kills the drug dealer. And Tariq is of course upset and pissed off because it's like you're working messy. You working messy. We don't do this type of revenge stuff off the cuff. We have to be methodical with the decisions that we make. We can't just make off the cuff decisions, and somebody could have heard them. Somebody could have seen them going into the apartment. You got to tie up all the loose ends or whatever. And so when Braden gets back to the hospital and his girlfriend is now awake, he lets her know that he took care of that drug dealer, and she asked him to leave to leave the building. And so also, Tariq gets up with Method Man, and tells Method Man that or Davis rather, that his allegiance or his loyalty should lie with Tariq and Monet and not with Norma, even though Davis is working with all three of them right now. But Tariq says he has some says he needs to get some leverage on Norma to find out what it is exactly that she's doing. And so Method Man does reveal to Tariq that Norma is trying to clean her money through this airplane parts business, and trying to get some information from the U.S. government so that she can legally be able to do her thing here in the U.S. And so Method Man knows the actual representative, the U.S. representative that she needs to use in order to get her not only her green card but as well as I'm assuming there's some information that she needs to be able to legally do her business here in the U.S. and also be able to clean her money. And so Tariq gives this information to Agent Carter. And so when we see Norma meeting up with this U.S. state representative, Carter is actually has eyes and ears on it. And Davis actually ends up coming to the meetup, and sliding her a note, letting her know that Agent Carter is watching, is currently watching her, and so Davis gets her out of that meeting, and Carter's like, "What is Davis doing in there?" And so then Davis and Norma are in the car, and she's like, I almost just got caught. Like, what is really going on? And so then Tariq and Monet tell Norma one of the guys that might flip on Agent Carter, and so they meet up with it's the white guy that's on Agent Carter's team, and so they meet up with Norma and Kane meet up with this guy who's on Agent Carter's team, and they want to pay him to turn Agent Carter in, and so this will get Agent Carter off of Tariq and Norman's backs. And so when they meet up with him, they give him the 50 bands, and he wants seven figures plus remaining payments after that as well. And so then that white guy ends up telling Agent Carter that Norma and Kane wanted him to flip. And so Agent Carter says, go ahead and take the deal, and let them know that you want to meet with them alone. And so the next thing we see, Norma is waiting on some type of pier, and Agent Carter shows up. and Agent Carter shows up and, lets her know, I heard you was trying to flip one of my guys. And, that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna fly with me, homegirl. And so Carter says that it must have been Tariq and Monet that tried to get my boy to flip on me, and so Norman says, "Well, it seems like we have a common enemy, and so why not instead of trying to take each other out, why don't we take out the common enemy that we have?" And so I don't know exactly how this is going to work out. I don't know how Agent Carter and Norma are going to be able to try to figure this whole plan out to be able to take out Tariq. And in 2 episodes, like these next 2 episodes must be about to be action packed because I don't know what to expect. I know this review was a little bit all over the place, and I'm sorry if that's an issue for anyone, but this is just the way that it's coming off the dome for me. And I don't like to take notes because then that will take up too much time for me looking down and trying to look up, and so doing it off memory is what works best for me. But thank you guys so much for joining me on this particular Power Book 2 Ghost review. I hope you join me next week for my episode 9 review. Love you guys for watching. Take care.